Okay, you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, everybody. So welcome to this week's episode of Lawful and Ordered with Michael Shaw. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about the new guidelines that have been updated by CAR recently. We know that there's still a lot of agents out there that are unclear about what they mean, what their responsibilities are, even what kind of trouble they could get into if they don't follow the guidelines. So we're going to answer all of those questions for you guys today. We do have a bit to cover, so let's just get right to it. Say hi to everybody, Mike.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So what's new, Mike? What's happened over the last couple of weeks here?
Well, as you all know, we moved into stage 2, and that should be a good news. And usually it is, but in this case, it's a little harder for most of us than before. And that is because they have more rules for us, and it's a little stricter than before. So we have a brand new real estate best practices guidelines, and this is new, prevention plan for showing during COVID-19 stage 2 expansion. This document now is 8 pages long. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. We also have the listing agreement coronavirus addendum amendment has been updated. For the PEADs, we now have 3 of them. We have one for sellers, one for visitors, and another one for landlord-tenant. We have a PRE document, which is for to be posted on all properties. So let's go through those one at a time. First one is the best practices guideline. What's happened here? So what we've done is have put together the guidelines and a prevention plan, since now we are required to have a prevention plan for every unit we're going to be showing. So this talks about for visitors, for sellers, social distancing, arranging showings, viewing the property, and one of the key points is providing sanitation of the property and cleaning and disinfecting the property. This 8 pages should be read. You should know it very well because your sellers are going to be signing it and agreeing to it. So are your buyers.
Yeah. So my question, Mike, is we've gone over these forms in the past. So can you just give us some highlights of exactly how the new forms are different from the older ones?
Yes. Let's take a look at the responsibility for cleaning and disinfecting the property. This is a new part. This is something that's going to be more restrictive. If we look down here, the selling agent or brokerage has ultimate responsibility to ensure that the property is cleaned and disinfected before and after each showing. What does that mean? That means that you as a listing agent have to be there before the showing, make sure it's cleaned, taking things off if you have to do that, and afterwards. And you have the ultimate responsibility. What does that mean? That means should something go wrong, they're going to look to you for not doing something. So we do have a very strong responsibility here to provide the masks for people coming in, disinfect banisters and things like that anybody may touch, and making sure these are done before they enter it and afterwards.
Right. And even though this is all the listing agent's responsibility, this is why we need the buyer's agents to make sure that they're providing the PEADs, right, Mike? Because we don't really know otherwise when somebody's going into the property. So that kind of stops us from knowing when we need to go in there and clean.
Yes, let's talk about that a little bit. Under this new issue, as a selling agent, you're going to get your buyers who want to see the property. And you have to fill out the PEAD visitor form so they can come there. But not only that, you must make sure you give it to the listing agent prior to your going there. The listing agent has a responsibility to make sure everything's clean and that you don't get infected. But they're going to have to know when you're coming so they can do that and be there. They also want to make sure that anybody visiting the property, your buyers, have filled out this form and have agreed to the prevention plan and best practices, and are going to take those into account before they enter the property. Therefore, before you let anybody in, you want to make sure you have received those and they're filled out completely and correctly by the people coming in.
Right. And one of the best reminders we have for making sure that we have a completely filled out and executed PEAD is the posts that we see right at the entrance to the property. They're supposed to be, it's a couple different forms, right, Mike, that detail the rules and the the different guidelines for somebody entering the property. Could you go over those in more detail?
Sure. As probably most of you know, there's a pictogram that we've had issued by CAR that should be posted on the front doors showing what things should be done. But besides that, they also have posted rules that have to be posted. These are also CAR's form, so you can download from CAR. It's PRE is the document name. So both that and the pictogram should be on the front door of any listed properties you have, whether they're escrow, whether they're just brand new, because they're going to be used by anybody coming in, which would include people to inspect the property or even making repairs.
And what kind of liabilities are we facing here, Mike, if we don't, follow these rules, specifically, putting these forms up at all of our listings?
But once again, we have the ultimate responsibility as a listing agent. So if you don't do this, should somebody get the virus because they didn't follow one of these rules, or your sellers does, they're not just going to be mad at you, but they also have a lawsuit against you. So we don't want to do that. In addition to that, if you're not following the rules as a buyer's agent, and you're coming to property notifying it, CAR has the MCAR has the authority to take away your key, super key, to get into property. And you'd be stuck then not being able to show any properties. So you want to make sure you do follow all the rules.
Right. And are we supposed to treat these forms here as our center of knowledge regarding what we're supposed to be doing, or is there somewhere else we should be going for more information?
This is the key place right here. The best practices are going to cover most everything you have. CAR forms are there. But if you follow the best practices, it's going to have links to the California Department of Health on how you do the best cleaning you can do. Has links to other forms you can use. Also, at CAR, there's a quick guide. It makes it easier for you to understand what it means to show a property. There's 9 easy steps to follow. You can get that also at the California Association of Realtors website. I know this a lot. Please go online to your CAR website and review these documents. It's a lot to know, but by doing that, you're going to keep yourself safer, your clients safer, and everybody's going to have a much easier time in showing the property by following the rules properly. This is Michael Shaw with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real-Time Realty saying, have a great week.
Thanks, Mike, and thank you to everyone else for watching today. Remember, as always, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to get in touch with us, leave them in the comments. We'd be more than happy to go over them in one of our future videos. Remember to stay safe, make sure that you're reading the forms completely, and we're all going to get through this together before you know it.